host of the Gridiron.
All right. What wound up happening was another fumble. Another costly fumble hurts the Giants. There was a fumble. It was, I think it was the first possession in the first time we played them. Now, the problem was opening up the second half. We got down, I think Singletary, I think he fumbled it around, I think it was around the 32. But he picked up a first down, but of course he fumbled it. But I mean, if he didn't fumble it, the Giants would have had a first down. The problem was that, of course, we didn't have a kicker. Once again, just another one of the things is just, so we would have, it would have been kind of interesting if we got it down to, say, the 5-yard line, say it was 4th and goal at the 5. What would have Daves have done in the first game against the Commanders? Would he have sent the hammer in there to kick? What would that be? 5, 12, a 22-yard field goal? Possibly, which would be closer than kicking the extra point, right? So would he have gone for the touchdown, or would he try to kick a field goal if we could have moved it down to the 5-yard line? So who knows? Or it may be inside the 10. Maybe he would have tried to kick the field goal. Who knows? But once again, it didn't come out that way. But, the Giants if we actually had a field goal kicker, and so he got down to the 32. This is in the first game against the Commanders, right? So it would have been first down and 10 at the Commanders' 32. Just say we got 5 yards, right, on the next 3 plays. So now we're down to the 27. If Graham Gano, I know I'm wishful thinking, was healthy, or if we had a kicker, right? So if we got down to the 27, 34, it would have been a 44-yard field goal. It would have been a makeable field goal. What did the Giants lose by? 3 points. Right? But I mean, we were moving the ball the first time. That opening drive, we were moving the ball. Were the Commanders going to stop us? Who knows? But once again, and in I believe in that game too, I don't think we got any turnovers. I don't think. We couldn't have, because the Commanders scored. They had the ball 8 times. 7 of them they kicked field goals. So therefore, we got sacks. We did get sacks against the Commanders the first time. The problem is that usually like that. Usually like a sack, or especially like a penalty or sack, or to be like a drive killer. It goes back to pass, whatever, on second down. It's boom, you sack them. Now it's 2nd and 13 or 3rd and 13. So, it should be a drive killer. We should hold them, right? No, nope. Every time we sacked them, they still got enough either for a first down, or they got into field goal range and they kicked the field goal, whatever it was. So, we didn't get any turnovers either game against the Commanders. So, but the one turnover in the first game quite possibly cost us points. If we had Graham Gano healthy, I know, once again, wishful thinking, right? It most definitely would have cost us some points in the first game. Now, I said, once again, if we had a healthy Graham Gano, I know, once again, wishful thinking, quite possibly, we would have kicked 3 extra points. We would have 21 points with the 3 touchdowns. And at the end of the game, we were in field goal range. We wouldn't have gone for it on 4th down when Malik Neighbors dropped the ball at the side. Once again, your first overall pick, right? Got the ball in his hands. Should catch the ball 99 times out of 100. Unfortunately for the Giants and us fans and all that, the one time out of the 100 he was going to drop that pass was that day. Now what? Right? Should have caught it, right? got his toes in bounds, fell out of bounds, stopped the clock. Giants maybe could have kept moving on. Would have been a first down at, I can't remember, was it the 10 or 11 yard line? Something like that. Would have been first down. Giants would have, and I said, maybe if we got inside on that in that first game, just say maybe we get down to the 4 to 5, say it's 4th down and 4 at the 4. Maybe he sends, the hammer out there to kick a field goal try, 21-yard field goal. Maybe he does. Who knows? But, as I said, we didn't get any turnovers. But once again, this time here, right? We were in field goal range, and not only did it possibly, the Giants had a nice drive going, possibly take points off the board from the Giants, but basically after the Commanders recovered the ball, they were 31 yards away. 3 plays later was a touchdown for them. But, so let me see. I'm going to pop this drive up here. Play by play. Here we go. Where are we at? Fumble. There's a nice. Let's see the Giants. Let's see here. A nice little drive going. They started their own 8-yard line. They ran the ball every time. They got from the 8-yard line, their own 8. To the Commanders' 29. You got a 4-yard run, a 10-yard run, a 24-yard run, a 15-yard run, a 10-yard run. They were just running the ball. So what do we got? 14, 38, 48, 53. They got 63 yards they got on 5 carries. 63 yards, averaging 12 and a half yards a carry. They ran the ball 5 times, got 63 yards. And, of course, the sack. Of course, and, it was the challenge. He got overturned. The sack with the fumble. So it says Daniel Jones incomplete, short middle to Singletary. But, of course, the Commanders challenged the incomplete pass ruling, and the play was reversed. Jones was sacked at the 39 for minus 10 yards, but he fumbles and was recovered at the 31-yard line for the Giants. So once again, the sack with the fumble, the one turnover. A lot of times, it was a couple turnovers. We had one turnover in the first game against the Commanders, which wound up being huge, quite possibly huge, because we turned once again. Both times we were in the Commanders' territory. This time it was a first down when he fumbled it. It's 1st and 10. 1st and 10 at the Commanders' 29. Now, you can also say, well, why did they start trying to pass the ball? They ran the ball 5 times for 63 yards, 12 and a half yards a carry. Why just not keep? You got. I can certainly see where you want to try to pass without question. Because you're just going to keep handing the ball off every time. They might keep, obviously putting more and more people in the box. So I can certainly, I ain't got a problem at all with that. You run the ball 5 times. Let's try to mix it up. Let's see if we throw a pass in there, right? And just, of course, just the one time got sacked, fumbled, drives over. You possibly some points is once again over. And at least this time also we had a kicker too, right? So it's the same thing here. And we're going to go over an important point here in about a minute. But we got down to, we got down to the 29-yard line, right? Say the pass was incomplete. Say there was no sack or fumble, like that, incomplete. Say we ran the ball 2 more times and we got 5 yards. Just say, right? or say we got 5 yards running the ball on second down, we got down to the 24, right? And on third down, they try pass and it goes incomplete. So now we're down at the 24-yard line. So you're looking at like a 41-yard field goal attempt. I mean, I'm not saying McAtamey was going to drill it, but it's makeable. Makeable, 41 yards. He's got the leg, that's for sure. Open guy, he would have the accuracy, but once again, they just picked up like 5 more yards. It was easily in field goal. We're in field goal range right then and there. Daniel Jones threw 3 incomplete passes. Right? They're still in field goal range. So, like I said, not only that, but where the Commanders wound up getting the ball at, 3 plays that they scored a touchdown. But the huge thing, and as I said, and it wasn't like the Giants had 5 turnovers and it cost them. It was just 1 turnover in each game. That's all they had. They didn't get any, which hurt, really hurt. Right? Because you figure if in the first game, if they got a turnover against the Commanders, it would have negated one of their field goals, because every time they had the ball, they got a field goal. Right? So if they got 1 turnover in the first game, it would have took 3 points off the board from the Commanders. It would have been at least an 18-18 ball game, maybe going into overtime. Right? But same thing in this game. The Giants got no turnovers. They could have gotten a turnover, might have set up the offense for a score, or might have negated a score from the Commanders. Right? But got no turnover. So, we were -1 in both games in the turnover department. And each game, the one turnover in each game quite possibly cost the Giants some points. And you can almost kind of, in a way, look at it. In this game, might have took 3 points off the board for the Giants, and set them up where they scored 7. So that turnover is almost maybe a 10-point turnover right there. Because the Commanders only scored 4 times. They scored 5, but one was right after the turnover, right? But they only scored 4 times. They scored 2 touchdowns in the first half, and they scored 2 field goals in the second half. Other than that, they didn't score it. But they after that turnover, they scored 3 plays. They scored a touchdown. Right? So, that turnover, absolutely freaking huge. Both games. As I said, you can look at it. We only had 4 penalties. One of them took a touchdown off the board. Right? We only had 1 turnover. Took some points off the board, quite possibly for the Giants. So. Sometimes it's just the little things. 1 fumble in each game quite possibly took some points off the board for the Giants. It quite possibly cost the Giants some victory. Right now, you figure if we're 2-7 now, if you reverse those 2 losses, right, the turn, right, now we're what? We're 4-5, right? Going playing Carolina in Munich. Might win it. We possibly could win that game. We win that game. We're 5-5 going into our bye week. Not saying we're going to make the playoffs or nothing, but things look a lot different when you're 5-5 instead of 2-7, right? But so this is another one of the things that took points off the board for the Giants, and I'm like scratching my head. I'd say I pull my hair out, but I ain't got no hair to pull out.